All right, let's get right into it because right now, completely behind the scenes of your daily scroll, there's a massive, high stakes digital war being fought. And it's a battle for money, for data, and yeah, for your attention. And it's happening on a scale that is, well, it's pretty hard to wrap your head around. So, how big are we talking? In 2024 alone, the projected loss to digital ad fraud is $100 billion. That's not a typo. We're talking $100 billion. This isn't just some small leak in the system. It's a full-blown, ongoing digital heist that affects the entire internet. So what exactly is this crime we're digging into? Well, simply put, ad fraud is the art of deception for profit. It's basically any method that's used to trick advertisers into paying for clicks or views that aren't actually real, pulling away budgets that were supposed to reach real people like you and me. And that really is the best way to think about it. This isn't just some technical glitch. No, it's a $100 billion heist. And just like any great heist movie, the folks behind it have a very specific playbook. So, what kind of tools are these digital criminals working with? Let's crack open the fraudster's playbook and really understand the methods behind this gigantic operation. This diagram here shows just how many tricks they have up their sleeve. This isn't one simple con. It's a whole ecosystem of fraud. You've got everything from pretty basic impression fraud to more sneaky stuff like cookie stuffing, all the way up to really sophisticated malware. This is literally the criminal's blueprint. You know, one of the oldest tricks in the book is the click farm, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Imagine a warehouse filled with hundreds of phones and low-paid workers whose only job is to sit there all day manually tapping on ads. It's basically a digital sweatshop, just manufacturing fake engagement to fool the system. But, you know, paying actual people to click on things is, well, it's kind of slow and expensive. And that's where bot fraud comes into the picture. Instead of humans, fraudsters use automated scripts, bots, that can pump out millions of fake clicks at a totally incredible speed. So while click farms create traffic that looks human, bots deliver an unbelievable industrial scale of fraud. And now we get to the really sophisticated and frankly damaging stuff, domain spoofing. This is where fraudsters disguise a totally worthless website to make it look like a premium, well-known publisher. They trick advertisers into thinking they're buying ad space on a trusted site. But in reality, their ads are running on some garbage page, and the fraudster just pockets the premium cash. And this chart really puts the scale of that one technique into perspective. Domain spoofing alone, just that one tactic, accounts for an estimated 70% of all digital ad fraud. It's the biggest piece of that $100 billion pie by a long shot. But of course, the industry isn't just sitting back and watching all this money vanish. This is where the heroes of our story show up, the AI detectives. These are sophisticated systems designed specifically to hunt down and expose this kind of fraud. So, how does it actually work? Well, the core idea is pretty simple. These AI systems are fed massive amounts of data so they can learn what normal, healthy human internet traffic is supposed to look like. And once they have that baseline, they can spot anything that seems out of place, almost instantly. It's like a detective who can walk onto a huge crime scene and immediately notice one tiny clue that's out of place. This flowchart gives us a peek under the hood. If you follow the arrows, you can see the AI system is constantly monitoring user metrics, stuff like click rates and how long people stay on a page. That data is then analyzed by a model that's always on the lookout for anomalies. If it finds something fishy, boom, it's flagged as potential fraud, and that allows for immediate action. Let's just boil that down into 3 simple steps. First, the AI collects millions and millions of data points. Second, its machine learning models hunt for patterns that just don't look human. And third, any suspicious activity gets flagged in real time, so advertisers can shut it down right away. Collect, detect, act. And the AI's toolbox here is just packed. We're talking about everything from behavioral analysis, which looks for weird clicking patterns, to SDK analysis for sniffing out fraud inside mobile apps. It even includes industry-wide collaborative filtering, where different companies actually share threat data to build a stronger collective defense. So the good guys have AI on their side. Case closed, problem solved, right? Well, not so fast, because this fight has a major, major twist. And this is the absolute crucial point.
What happens when the fraudsters themselves get their hands on this same powerful technology?
And the answer is they already have. Fraudsters are now deploying their own machine learning algorithms. They're building these incredibly sophisticated bots that have learned to mimic genuine human behavior so perfectly that they can just waltz right past a lot of the traditional defenses. This has kicked off a full-blown, high-tech arms race. So what this means is that it's no longer just humans versus bots. Oh no. It is now AI versus AI. A constant, escalating cat-and-mouse game where the algorithms on both sides are constantly learning, adapting, and duking it out in a totally invisible war for control of the web. Okay, so what does this whole invisible war actually mean for us, for you? It's not just some abstract tech problem happening on a server somewhere in a data center. It has very real consequences for businesses, for the content we all consume, and ultimately, for you. So what are the true costs here? Well, it's not just the money paid for fake clicks. There are these huge opportunity costs. Think about it. Every dollar spent on a bot is a missed chance to reach a real person. Then you've got the intangible costs, like all the time and resources spent just fighting this stuff, plus the cost of the AI defense tools themselves.
The ripple effects of this war are felt by every single one of us. It completely distorts the data that businesses use to make decisions. It erodes trust across the entire digital ecosystem. And yeah, it ultimately affects the quality and even the availability of the content you see because the money that was meant to fund that content is being siphoned off by criminals.
So as the silent, high-speed battle continues in the background of our digital lives, as these two AIs, the detectives and the criminals, just keep evolving and fighting, it really leaves us with one critical question to think about. In this invisible war for your attention, who is actually winning?